Boom. There we go. Yo, what's up, everybody? Tuesday, September the 22nd. Welcome into the Daily Crow. Hope you're all doing well. Taking your questions, comments, everything in between. I will post the number, and I guess I got to take the voicemail number off of Do Not Disturb. Or you can just text in. I'll take it off, though. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, Tuesday, September 22nd. It's a beautiful day outside today for sure. A lot going on. Depth chart just dropped. Will Muschamp speaking to the media at 12:30. So those comments will obviously be coming in as we're chatting here. Unfortunately, the availability will not be like past years where the press conference was on YouTube. It will not be on that. It's going to be just like it was in fall camp, where we're just going to have kind of the Zoom call thing and whatever. So it's kind of stupid, but welcome to 2020. So hope everybody's doing well. Again, Chris Phillips, the Spurs Up Show. This is the Daily Crow. So taking your questions, comments, everything in between. And looks like we've already got a call, so we'll jump on here. Or not. All right. Like I said, taking your questions. What do you guys think about the depth chart? I would love to hear you guys' comments and questions on the depth chart. I will say my initial reaction, immediate reaction, nothing crazy jumping out, I would say. Nothing surprising. I mean, we knew wide receiver was a question mark. I guess I'm a little bit surprised about the linebacker depth, if you will. But overall, nothing that really is shocking to me. Yeah, Jalen Brooks, the whole eligibility thing, they got to get that figured out, man. I mean, I have my comments on Jalen Brooks. We already know what happened, but you need the bodies. I mean, if nothing else, you just need the bodies. Right now, you have 2 quarterbacks and 2 freshmen in your top 6 wide receivers. That's just the reality of the position. You need as many quality guys as you can get. So, hold on. I'm going to – let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go. So, yeah, if you guys want to text in, leave your comments, whatever it may be. Enigbari over Jordan Burch. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Will Muschamp's a big guy. He wants to go with experience. I mean, I think that's why you're seeing a guy like Keir Thomas ahead of Zach Pickens. They're all going to play a lot, but I think that's why you're seeing it. I think he's rewarding seniority. Jordan Burch never taking a snap for. I didn't really expect Burch to be a starter anyways. I mean, he's going to play. He's going to factor in. He's going to rotate in, but yeah, I mean, I did not expect Jordan Burch to be a starter off the jump. But I think seniority as well gets rewarded under Muschamp. Again, I think that's why you're seeing a guy like Keir Thomas start over Zach Pickens. Not that he's not a good player, but I just think that he's going to give him that nod either way, just knowing they're all going to rotate in and play, though, either way. So I wouldn't – defensively, I wouldn't look too far into the depth chart. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see who's starting and everything, but they're all going to play in some capacity. So Christopher Lane would love to know the depth chart order at quarterback, if there is one, or is there a certain situation where you choose one over the other? I mean, I think we all know the depth chart at quarterback. I mean, you got Colin Hill starting, Ryan Linsky is your backup, and Luke Doty is QB3. I mean, and then beyond that, I mean, Jay Urich is QB4, and no offense to Jay, if you get to QB4, you've got issues. So if you get to QB4, we're going to have some problems. So, Bradley Gaming, watch Shi Smith get hurt this season, knock on wood. Yeah, hopefully that does not happen. Let's knock on wood seriously. Hopefully that does not happen. You're going to need all the bodies. But like I said, I mean, nothing really jumping out. I mean, the running back position, Kevin Harris or Deshaun Fenwick, both guys I talked about at the show that I thought right now Kevin Harris is the starter. We heard a couple weeks ago that Deshaun Fenwick was RB1, so it really doesn't surprise me. to see that. I think it is going to be one of those two guys, but I expect the running back position to be totally running back by committee. I really think it's going to be a by committee position, which again, I don't think is going to surprise anyone. Tonka Hemingway as a freshman making the 2 deep is awesome to see. I think he's a guy they were, obviously really high on this fall. They talked about a lot. Let's see what else. Birch being in the 2 deep, not really. Linebacker position, though, when you're looking at that Sam linebacker and you've got Brad Johnson, your starter, who's awesome, but Spencer Eason-Riddle, the backup, and then you've got Damani Staley as the backup. Damani Staley is the backup at the other 2 positions. I just thought we had more depth at linebacker. It just shows you that you cannot afford positions at the linebacker position. Izzy and JC expected. RJ and Jamie kind of expected the safety positions. Shiloh in the 2 deep. Jalen Dickerson, I really hope he can stay healthy, man. I really, really hope he can stay healthy because he's a guy that Muschamp's been high on before. And again, you need the depth back there at the safety position. And then Jamie at the nickel, no surprise. And at the dime, Jamar Brown, who they moved from linebacker to safety, a guy who's a really good athlete. So, and then RJ Roderick backing him up. So solid defensively. We all knew about Kai Kroger. Parker White, obviously your kicker. Kickoff returner, Shi Smith, Xavier Legette. That's kind of expected. And punt returner, Jamie or JC Horn, which, again, we had heard about, sort of expected. I think they'll be interesting. I'd like to see Jamie back there taking back punts. I think he's a guy who's an athlete who could do some good things for you. So, Trip Roche, will we see a lot of 3-and-outs this Saturday? I hope not. I hope not very many. I think it'd be foolish to not think we're not going to see at least one. I can tell you that. But, it's kind of a wait and see thing, man. I think you're going to see some for sure, but hopefully not a lot. It's kind of hard to predict. Hopefully not a lot. Bradley Gaming, really nervous about the wide receiver drops. We can't catch anything. I think this group, I think Shi is very reliable as far as catching the football. I think Legette, true freshman last year, had his ups, had his downs. I feel fine with him. But again, we knew the wide receiver room was going to be an issue. We knew. There's nobody, even the most optimistic garnet-colored glasses Gamecock fan, even they knew wide receiver is going to be a spot to worry about this year for sure. And listen, I'm just call a spade, guys. When you have 2 quarterbacks and 2 freshmen in your top 6 wideouts, that's not a very comforting feeling going into week 1. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of the situation. That's where Carolina is, especially if you don't get Jalen Brooks eligible. And to be honest, at this point, I highly doubt he's going to get the waiver. We're terrible with the NCAA. And if you haven't heard at this point, I just highly doubt you're going to hear it all. So, it is what it is. You need Shi Smith to play at an extremely high level. You need Legette to make that jump from year 1 to year 2, which I've been predicting that he will. We'll see if he does, but you need him to make that jump from year 1 to year 2. And you need guys like Rico Powers and Jakari Caldwell to just step up and be big-time players. I'm not trying to discount Luke Doty and Dak Joyner, but you need your true wide receivers to be big-time wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a smart idea to go rely on a former quarterback to be this stud wide receiver. Like, yeah, I think Doty and Joyner can do some really nice things. They're both great athletes, but come on. They shouldn't be beating out your true wide receivers on the roster. That's just my opinion. I saw a lot of people commenting, asking about a guy like Josh Vann. Personally, and I don't care how it sounds, but I think at this point, Josh Vann's probably just better off transferring. If you can't beat out 2 former quarterbacks and 2 freshmen, that's saying a lot about you. It's just, and again, I feel bad for Josh Vann because I think he's got a lot of talent. He needs to go somewhere where he can play. He needs to go somewhere where he can play, man. So, it's baffling. It's baffling that Josh Vann has not played or panned out better or developed. It's just a complete lack of development. I don't know how else you can put it. A 4-star player, not even making the top 6, beating out by 2 freshmen and 2 quarterbacks, basically. That's a tough look. It's a very tough look. So let's see. Rooster Cogburn. What a name. Do you think we can see Doty in the Wildcat formation or any form under center at all with that all SEC schedule? Yes, I think 100%. I think 100%. You're definitely going to see him on the field at wide receiver. I'd love to see him in the Wildcat. I think they should put him in the Wildcat at some point, but we'll see how much they do it. But, yeah, I think you'll 100% see that before the end of the season, no doubt. Bradley Gaming probably have a 3-and-out on the first drive of the game like always. I surely hope not. Damien Nico, what's your prediction for the offensive tackle combo? I say Wonnum at left, Nichols at right. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, you take a look right now, you've got Wonnum at left tackle, Nichols at right tackle. Yeah, I think that's going to be your two guys, barring any injuries or unless they just have a bad week, whatever. I think that's going to be your guys, though. I feel pretty confident, pretty good with those guys, especially Wonnum. I think Wonnum's a big-time All-SEC type of player for you. How about this quote, by the way? J.C. Horn gives high praise to Dak Joyner. Quote, he reminds me of Debo. He's very dangerous when he touches the ball. That's hella praise. That's hella praise. So I hope we can pan out on that. That's big-time praise. You comparing him to Debo Samuel, who's in the NFL doing it. Chris Dimsdale, where is Jay Urich? He is QB4. QB4 and probably wide receiver 7. So he's on there. I mean, he's not in the 2 deep. So, I mean, Savannah Webster, did I read right? Doty's second in line at wide receiver. I mean, yeah, he's backing up Shi Smith. Now, the starting 3 receivers are Shi, Leggett, and Dak Joyner right now. Doty is next in line, I think, behind Shi Smith. So he's not the number 2 wide receiver, but he is the backup at that position behind Shi Smith. So he's more than in the rotation. I mean, he's there. So he is going to play. He is going to play a lot. Let's see. Tyler Manley, do you think Muschamp is on the hot seat this year? Yeah. I mean, that's a given. I mean, yeah, for sure. Even if he doesn't get fired because of COVID, yeah, it's a huge year. Colin McMahon, 241. Marcus Lattimore was hired by a school out west as a mentor coach. Was he really? I may have missed that. Did this just happen? Which would be a very interesting move. Seeing as he left South Carolina. I thought he left South Carolina to not work in football anymore. That's very interesting. Let's see. I want to see what team it was. That is so strange. Huh. I guess he just wanted to get out of South Carolina and get to the West Coast. Okay, I missed some questions. Andrew Bowers, I think a lot of freshmen play this year. I think they show up a lot. Yeah, I mean, when you recruit talent, that happens. A lot of freshmen are going to play, and they're going to take some positions. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it as well. John Gibbs, personally, if we can stay healthy, we would never be a bad team. Strength and conditioning program, player development, 2 main categories that hurt us the most. Yeah, bad offense and injuries. I mean, that's a staple of Will Muschamp teams at this point. So, yeah, I mean, that's something you got to work on. You got to stay healthy to have a good year this year. You just have to. So, Dame Nico, when is Rosendo supposed to return from injury? Linebacker core is thin. Dude, I have no idea as far as Rosendo. And Rosendo's another guy that in recruiting, you feel like he was a big-time recruit, 3-star, but he was an Under Armour All-American. He hadn't done a damn thing since he got on campus. I don't know what's happened. Andrew Seymour. Heard from an insider on a local radio station Monday that if we lose to Tennessee Saturday, they are prepared to fire Muschamp. Know if there's any truth to that. I don't know who you heard that from, but I highly doubt that. Highly doubt it. Michael Cavalier, do you see more of a controlled time of possession on O with Bobo running to offense, or will it be unpredictable week to week? I think it will be controlled time of possession. I mean, obviously, there's going to be tweaks here and there based on the opponent you're playing and things they see on film and what they feel like they can expose. But yeah, I think you're very much going to see a time of possession type of game from South Carolina this year on offense, no doubt. So. Let's see. Trip Roche, best senior on offense and defense. I mean, it's got to offensively. I mean, it's got to be Shi Smith or Sadarius Hutchinson. You can go with either one of those guys. Defensively, best senior, probably Keir Thomas. I'd probably say Keir Thomas. Yeah. Not a ton of seniors on defense, but yeah, I'd say he's the best. And I guess you could maybe argue Sherrod Green, but I'd probably go Keir Thomas. As long as he's healthy, I'll go Keir Thomas. Or heck, no, actually, excuse me, Aaron Sterling. What am I talking about? He's a senior. I didn't feel like he was a senior. Yeah, Aaron Sterling's got to be the best senior for sure on defense. He's a beast. Aaron Sterling is a freaking beast. So, mm-hmm. All right, taking your questions, guys. Again, appreciate you all tuning in here on a Tuesday. Very excited to announce also we are having a watch party Saturday at Overtime Bar and Grill. I'll be getting there around 5:30. I'm actually putting the graphic together right now. I'm going to post that later today. But we are having a watch party for the Tennessee game. Tons of specials that I'm going to have on the graphic as well. Very, very excited for that. Going to be a really, really good time. Obviously, kickoff at 7:30. Let's see. Brad Perkle, I feel like Jamie is going to take a huge step in his salt. Yeah, I think year 1 to year 2, Jamie, I'm extremely excited for what he brings to the table for this defense. He brings that mentality, that nastiness, I feel like, to the back end of the defense. I'm pumped for it for sure. Andrew Bowers, random question. The one player who pissed you off the most on the field? I don't know, man. That's when Jake Bentley was playing, probably him. Christian Brown, are you still planning to go live after the game? I think so. I think I'm going to do a 30-minute pregame and postgame live. I think that's going to be the plan. So, we'll see how that goes, obviously. I was thinking about doing an hour first, but I just think that's way too long on game day. I'd rather just kind of get it in, get going. We're all kind of doing our own things, whatever. But I think a cool little 30-minute pregame live would be dope. So, for sure. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. Colin McMahon 241, do you think we will see a lot of long runs by both Fenwick and Harris or one more than the other? It's tough to say. I mean, again, I think it's going to be a running back by committee approach. I mean, I think probably you'd see Fenwick more long runs than Harris, but I think those guys are all going to get their fair share for sure. Bradley Gaming score prediction. I will give my score prediction officially Friday. I will give my score prediction. Dom Nico, last night on SEC Network, an analyst said Kentucky is the best O-line in the league. Your thoughts? I think Tennessee and Bama are definitely better than UK. They have one of the best for sure. Very veteran group. One of the best line of scrimmages offensively and defensively in the league. So I know that's tough to hear. I mean, it's tough to say, but Kentucky has done a good job recruiting, developing more than anything. So you got to tip your cap to them. Anthony Dillard, we have to see a solid running game this year. What are your thoughts on our running game? Yeah, South Carolina will not win games where it does not run the football well. They will not. So you've got to be able to run the football this year. I feel good about the offensive line. You hate losing Marshawn Lloyd. I think you have enough capable bodies back there to have a solid running game for sure, but you got to see it on the field. I mean, I don't expect us to be an offensive juggernaut as far as running the football, but yeah, you got to be able to run the football. You have to be able to run the football this year. So, Wendy Wilkins, will we see Sanders play this year? And I'm assuming you're saying Shiloh Sanders. Yes, he is in the 2 deep at safety. He's going to play a lot. Colin McMahon 241. Do we hit the over under? Are you talking total wins for South Carolina? Are you talking over under points for Saturday's game? What are you talking about specifically? Rooster Cogburn, don't know much about Colin, but is he more of a pocket passer or dual threat? And with Bobo's offense, I know he said he's going to spread the offense out, but do you see any RPOs? He is 100% a pocket passer. He is not fleet of foot. Let's put it that way. That's putting it nicely. No, I do not see a ton of RPO. No, this is not going to be an RPO offense. This is going to be a lot of under center running the football. I mean, they will spread it out from time to time for sure. They'll get in the shotgun and everything, but no, it's not going to look like Brian McClendon's offense. So it's not going to look that way. Let's see here. Oh, Saturday points-wise, do we hit the over-under? I'm going to spoil my best bet right now. I don't want to do it, but I will do it. Yeah, I think the under is the best play in the game. I mean, under 50. South Carolina, first game of the new OC, question marks all over the field. As long as the South Carolina defense plays well, this game will hit under 50. I have no doubt about that. Tyler Fleming, do you think we'll see some kind of wildcat with Doty? I think that could be really successful since Doty's a good thrower of the football. I'm hoping so. You got to get your best athletes on the field. I think at some point this season we will. Do we see it Saturday? Hard to say. Not really sure. Dom Nico, I'm glad players don't have to take the walk of shame anymore when ejected. Now players are allowed to remain on the sidelines. I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. Or you could just not get ejected and not worry about it. So there's that too, right? Let's see. Brian A. Hardy, too, just joined. Wide receiver depth is very concerning. Yeah, no, I 110% agree with you. I mean, when you have, let's just call a spade, you like Shy as your number one. Xavier Legette is a guy I think could take a jump from year one to year two. But outside of that, you got two quarterbacks and you got two freshmen. I mean, it's concerning. It's concerning going into week one. I'm not saying those guys couldn't be really good players. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they couldn't be big contributors, but it's concerning. Like, there's no other way to put it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It is very concerning. So, Andrew Bowers, SC taking the game 24-21 sound good? I think it does. I think it's going to be that type of game. I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick to pick South Carolina. I mean, they're at home. You've played well against Tennessee outside of last year. Will Muschamp is on Tennessee. I think a 23-20, 24-21 game either way is how this one turns out. So, no, I don't think it's a bad pick. I'll give my official pick on Friday. I don't think it's a bad pick, though. Anthony Dillard, how independent is the passing game going to be on tight ends this year? And I love how our fans, like, I don't know why it's a running joke that our fans love asking questions about the tight ends, but they do. They do. But, no, I mean, listen, I think that, yeah, I think you see the tight ends used a lot. I think you're going to see the tight ends used a lot, especially, especially Nick Muse. I think he is a good one. So I think you're going to see them, lean on him heavily, no doubt. Jacob White, how much playing time do you think Pickens is going to get? I think a lot. I said this earlier in the broadcast. The defensive side of things of the depth chart, I think in that situation, Keir Thomas being ahead of Zach Pickens, I think Muschamp's almost kind of rewarding seniority there, rewarding his veteran guy. But, dude, you're going to see Pickens on the field. He's going to play a ton. He's going to play a ton. And I'll just be totally frank with you and tell you this, too. I haven't really talked about this side of things because I expect him to play well. I don't expect this to be an issue. But if we don't see Zach Pickens play a lot this year and he doesn't have a big year, I'm going to have some major question marks and some major concerns regarding his development and just because there's no excuse. He should be a big-time ball player. He should be on the field making big plays this year. I expect he will. So, Calvin Bosshog Legette Jr., how time you think number 17 gets? It's number 17, Xavier Legette. I think Legette's going to have a big year. I think from year one to year two, he's going to make a big jump. He's going to be a main target this year for the offense. So I like his game. I think he could be a big-time playmaker. Colin McMahon 241, how much do you think Kevion Mullins will play since moving from receiver to tight end? I think he'll be in the rotation. How much he'll play is tough to say because I think, what is he right now? Right now he is he the third? Was he in the two deep? I kind of glanced over the tight ends. Let's see. He's okay. So okay. So it's Nick Muse and then Keyshawn Toney backing up him at the one tight end spot. And yeah, Key Mullins. So he's the number 2 tight end. So yeah, he's going to play a lot. Yeah, I think he's certainly going to play a lot, no doubt. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it could do that. Bradley Gaming, how many sacks do you think we're getting? Are you talking game one or the entire season? That's. I think in game one, you're going to see this defense get 2 or 3. I think you are going to get pressure. It's going to be tough, though. Tennessee's got a very good offensive line. They got a very good offensive line. But I think Carolina can get pressure on Jarrett Garantano. So, again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Very excited today. Again, we're full steam ahead. Things are rolling. Game week, things are rolling full steam ahead. Really, really pumped. Got some really exciting stuff upcoming this week as well. Watch party on Saturday at Overtime Bar and Grill. And again, I'll be putting out that graphic, but I'm very, very pumped about it. Very pumped about it. So, If you guys are in Columbia or whatever, I know people need a place to watch the game. Come out to Overtime Bar and Grill. Ton of great specials. A ton of great specials that we're going to be, broadcasting as well. So I'll have the graphics put out later today, but it's going to be a really good time. Going to be a really, really good time. I'll probably be getting there around 5 or 5:30. Probably 5. That'll be the plan. So you guys can roll in around 5:30 or 6 and, go from there. So, but game week indeed. Game week indeed. Anthony Dillard, how much sideline to sideline speed does he have this year? I think a good bit. I think you've definitely got some athletes on that side of the ball. I mean, I'm excited for the defense. I think you have a lot of speed for sure. Christian Brown, do you think we'll have a more fast-paced offense this year? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. South Carolina's offense last year averaged 20 seconds between plays, which was number 1 in the SEC, and it was number 6, I think, nationally. There's no way we have a more fast-paced offense this year. No doubt. Jeremy Crenshaw, have you considered practicing your on-air personality to become the voice of Gamecock football after Todd Ellis? Hey, give me a ring. I'm down. I would be more than happy to do so. Trip Roche, favorite section to sit in Williams-Brice? That's a really tough question because I like to bounce around the stadium. I'll be honest with you. I love standing in the turnstiles. I just, for whatever reason, or being row 1 of the upper deck. I mean, there's really not a bad seat in the house at Willie B. I'll tell you this. I'm not a big end zone guy because I like to see the whole field. So I'm not a big end zone guy as far as sitting in the end zones, but I like bouncing around, man. That's one of the reasons I don't have season tickets. I don't want to be stuck in one area. Like, I like bouncing around the stadium. So, not a bad seat in the house at Willie B. Travis Brown, where is the bar for the watch party? Yes, so Overtime Bar and Grill right down the street from Williams-Brice Stadium. I will have the actual address on the graphic that I will post later today. But it is right down the road from Williams-Brice Stadium. It is literally probably half a mile from there. So great place to watch the game. Again, it's a great venue. TVs everywhere. They have fantastic food. They're going to have a ton of drink specials as well. So it's going to be an awesome time. Andrew Bauer, Section 12, row 11 is where I sit every season except for this year. Like I said, not a bad spot in the house. That's a damn good seat, though. I can tell you that. Yeah, so. But I don't know. I've just always liked bouncing around. I am very surprised that Marcus Lattimore took that job. That's really surprising. Sorry, guys. I'm just tweeting. Just tweeting my life away. Otis Driftwood, what's your score prediction for Saturday? I will be dropping it Friday on the podcast and all over social media, obviously, everything like that. But I will drop it Friday. That's how I operate during the season. I wait until Friday to give my prediction. So, D White 864, your prediction on how many more years our head coach will be here? As many years as he wins. That's how many years he'll be here. So, I think he'll be here next year for sure. Let me put it that way. But after that, got to win ball games. If he wins ball games, he'll be here. So, Frank Wolf, what job did Marcus Lattimore take? So, yeah, he took a life coach job with a D3 school on the West Coast, Lewis and Clark College in Portland. So, Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So Steven, bro, we've been getting so many prank calls on the freaking voicemail number. I'm just like, God. All right, let's see. Travis wrote Rowell, when will we ever get back the nasty in your face type dog defense we had back in 2010 to 2013? Think we are getting close. I mean, I think this is as good as you've been on defense since 2013. I said that about last year's defense too, but I think talent wise, this is as talented as you've been since that group. I'm not saying they're as talented as that group, obviously, but it's the most you've had since that group, in my opinion. So, let's see. Let me go back to that. I'll play your voicemail here on air. By the way, if you want to leave a voicemail as well for the show, you're more than welcome to. But I'll play this voicemail here on air.
Hey Chris, this is Stephen Atkins. Just wanted to leave a voicemail here for you. It's more of more of a comment than a question. But pretty much my thought is on this season is that I really feel like our defense is going to be pretty stout. Should be anyways. So therefore, the offense, we only need the offense to be average. I mean, if you remember, last year, the 3 and outs on offense was absolutely embarrassing. Just over and over and over again. Absolutely embarrassing. So if we can have just an average offense, I feel like our defense can keep us in the game. Now, would it be great to have more than a better than average offense? Of course. But I think realistically, an average offense, an offense that doesn't constantly go 3 and out, I think would be a huge upside. Defense should be stout. And another thing to think about in terms of expectations this season, you got to think about this. With all the teams, with this whole COVID thing going on, you never know who's going to be available from week to week. So typically, let's just say the Florida matchup or LSU matchup, typically that's one that's saying, hey, Gamecocks are big underdogs. But think about this. If they have a bunch of key players out, then that kind of, if they have a bunch of key players out and we still have our main players, then that kind of evens the matchup a little bit. So, I wouldn't be too down on this Gamecocks team because depending on if they can stay healthy, not have too many people out from COVID, and then maybe get some help on that end towards other schools, the team could actually be pretty decent. And like I said, they only need an average offense to get it done. Just let me get your thoughts on this if you don't mind, my man. All right, brother. We'll see you later, and go Cox.
Stephen Atkins, go Cox, man. Appreciate it. Sorry I missed the call originally. I'll take it off Do Not Disturb now. Yeah. So I agree with your first point. If we can just be average on offense, we can get to 5 wins. I mean, that's really, you just need to be average and not shoot yourself in the foot. Don't turn the football over. That's kind of what I said before. I think you can get to 5 wins. Just be efficient offensively. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't turn the football over. Don't put your defense in bad positions. Now, do I think in the long run, can you win the SEC title that way? No. I think you need to be elite offensively. I do. But in this season, you're trying to get to 5 wins or more. I think you can do it doing that. I really do. Lean on your defense and let them go win you some ball games. Now, that's going to put pressure on the defense. They've got to pan out, but you'd like to think, we'd all certainly think this defense is going to be good this year. I mean, you look at the talent, look at the players. There's NFL bodies on that defense. So, you would think they're going to be good. As far as, I love your optimism, but one of the things I noticed you saying is if. Yeah, there's a lot of ifs. I mean, there's no doubt. Again, like I've said before, there's a path to 5 wins, there's a path to 6 wins. But right now, there's more question marks than there are answers. I'm not saying those questions won't get answered and be positives, but right at this very moment, I can't pick this team to go 5-5 because there's so many question marks. So, I'm hoping they go out there and show us all. And starting with a win against Tennessee, they show us, and boom, here we go. We're on a roll. So, but I mean, it's not impossible. That's not what I'm saying. But there's just a lot of ifs. There's a lot of ifs. If this team gets impacted by COVID, it's like you're depending on a lot of hypotheticals. You know what I mean? Like you're depending on a ton of hypotheticals. Here we got another call here. Let's see.
Enter.
Accept, press 1. To send a
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, Chris. I just wanted to talk about Tennessee and the injuries that they're getting. Not injuries. Sorry.
The
Positive COVID tests.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think as of now, I mean, it's so here's the thing. It seems like they've all recovered, but I was watching. I don't know if you saw the initial coaches show with Will Muschamp, and he talked about the COVID stuff. And basically, dude, it sounds like it's going to be one of those things where we're really not going to know who's out until game day because these coaches are using it as a competitive. They feel like it's competitive advantage and all that. And so, I mean, I honestly, man, I think we're all going to be kind of holding our breath as far as how many guys are out, whatever. But I mean, it sounds like from everything they said over the weekend, Tennessee, the guys have recovered and they don't have anybody that's dealing with COVID or what. I mean, it's a day-to-day thing, though. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think they'll probably be okay, but I don't know, man. I mean, it kind of scares me because as South Carolina fans, I know we can all attest how many times have we gotten to game day and heard somebody's out or this guy's out. I'm just like, my God, just holding my breath that you're not going to have like one of your key guys out for a game because of that. But I think Tennessee should be fine unless something changes. But it's unless something changes. It's only Tuesday, so I mean, you never know. But I think they probably should be good to go.
Yeah. All right.
So
sounds good. Just want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Appreciate the call. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think so. But again, that's really what scares me, man. It's just I heard Muschamp say that on the coaches show, and I'm like, you've got to be joking. Like, you have to be joking. So, Lee Hopkins, how about the wide receivers? Are they talented? I think they're talented, but there's just not a lot of proven guys. Tyler William, what in the world happened to Josh Vann? Fantastic question. I guess development, I don't know. 4-star recruit. Can't beat out 2 freshmen and 2 quarterbacks. That's just calling a spade, just calling it black and white as it is. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Cayman Lightsey, wide receiver scares the shit out of me, as it should. I mean, we should all – that's a huge question mark. Josh Seegers, Dakereon Joyner starting at wide receiver 3. Yeah, he is the starting wide receiver 3. He is the starting wide receiver 3 on the depth chart. So let's see. Chandler Bryant, what do you think about the depth chart? Yeah, so overall, nothing crazy surprising. We knew wide receiver was a major question. I mean, again, when you have 2 quarterbacks and 2 wide receivers and your top – or two quarterbacks and 2 freshmen in your top 6 wide receivers, that's a cause for concern. I was a little surprised at the lack of depth at linebacker. I mean, when you have Spencer Eason Riddle as one of your backups, then you have, Damani Staley's a backup at 2 of the linebacker positions. That's a little concerning. But outside of that, nothing crazy. Kind of what I expected. Nothing really jumped off the page. So Tyler Knoll, I think there's more of a question mark at running back than there's at wide receiver to me. We didn't see Kevin Harris or Deshaun a bunch last year. We know what we have in Shy and Xavier. I'm excited about Rico and want to see what Dak does. What's your take? I still think wide receiver is a bigger question mark. I understand where you're coming from the running back position, though. I mean, Fenwick and Harris they didn't play a lot last year. They have not played a lot, period, in their careers. And then you have a Zaquandre White who's never played an SEC game, and you have Rashad Amos who's a true freshman. So running back is definitely a huge position. I think there's enough capable bodies there to be productive, but they're both question marks, no doubt. Chandler Bryant, Jabari Ellis starting D tackle. What do you think he can do? I mean, I think he can be a big player for you. I mean, obviously a big body in there. The coaches have been speaking very highly on him. I think he can have a solid season for you. I don't think he's going to be, a Javon Kinlaw by any stretch, but I think he can have a solid season for you and have an impact for sure. Austin Amick 10-0. Yeah. I hope so. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. So taking your calls, you got 843-790-3377, or you can just leave your comments. You can text into the number, whatever. Also want to remind you, if you didn't hear earlier in the show, we do have a watch party Saturday. Watch party Saturday at Overtime Bar and Grill. So very excited about that. I will be putting out the official details, putting out the graphics and stuff later today, but excited to announce that. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be the official spot where I'll be watching the game. Probably going to go live for 30 minutes pregame and postgame. So yeah, going to be a lot of fun for sure. Cool. Anthony Dillard, are we going to see some good old-fashioned punch him in the mouth I formation this year? Yeah, I think so for sure. You're going to see a lot more under center. I think I formation for sure is something you're going to see. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to be I formation like Georgia 24/7 running the football, but yeah, I think that's going to be a part of the offense, no question. Two backs, you're going to see Adam Prentice out there. You're going to see two tight ends. Yeah, no doubt. Chandler Bryant, I don't think Tennessee can afford to give us 3 points. I love the 3. I mean, so basically you're picking South Carolina to win. That's pretty much what you're doing. Because if you take Carolina +3, you might as well just bet a money line. I mean, that's what you're doing. What do you think? Carolina's going to lose by 2? Going to lose by 1? You might as well just pick a money line. So now, if that goes to 3.5, I'd say hammer Tennessee, or I'm hammer South Carolina. Because I could see South Carolina losing by a field goal. But at the number, if you're going to bet the number, it's either a no bet or you bet Carolina money line. Lamar Bradley, congrats. Joyner. Mullins can have plenty of advantages at tight end as well. Yeah. No, very excited. Very excited for those two guys. Hunter Gowan, what happened to the NCAA 14 simulation with Hill starting? I'm still trying to do that, man. I'm just swamped. Yesterday, it was impossible to do. I had the event last night at 6 o'clock. There was literally not a single free second in the day yesterday. So I'm thinking I might do those tonight. We're going to have to do like 2 or 3 games at a time. But if you guys want to do it, I mean, I'm down. But, dude, my schedule's been nuts. I mean, my schedule has been crazy. So, I don't know. I'd love to do it, man, but resimulating all 10 games. I mean, here's the thing. We've got the call-in show Thursday night at 7 as well. I'm just trying to figure out when in the world I could do it. What I thought about doing, and you guys give me your feedback on this, what I thought about doing, instead of trying to get all 10 games done before this game, doing week by week, just doing a simulation of the game that's upcoming. So, for example, maybe Wednesday night, we do South Carolina, Tennessee simulation, something like that. And then the next week, Wednesday night, we do South Carolina, Florida simulation. And the next week we do, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. So it'd make it much easier. It'd make it much easier, much more manageable for me because, again, right now we're in the season now. The content's rolling. The interviews are coming out the ass. There's a lot going on. So that's why the simulations are an off-season thing because in season, it's rolling full steam. It's rolling full steam. So I think that's what we might do. I think that'd be fun to kind of, hey, here's what the computer says is going to happen this Saturday. And obviously we can update the depth charts and update the rosters as we go game by game by game. Because I'm sure depth charts are going to be changing. Unfortunately, guys are going to get injured and stuff like that. So I think that's what we might actually do, to be honest. Josh Seeger, do you think we'll see much fullback style play? Don't know how I feel about Adam Prentice. Yeah, I think Adam Prentice is almost like a Patrick DeMarco 2.0. I think you're going to see the fullback a lot this year. I think you're definitely going to see the fullback a lot. Jacob White week by week. Okay, good. I think that's probably what we'll do. So. All right, getting a call here. Let's see.
Game damn cops, baby.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Calling you from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
There you go. Love it. Love Myrtle Beach.
Question for you, big dog. Was Mike Bobo all along bringing Colin Hill to play quarterback? Helinski was never in the picture, barring some, another injury or something like that. Was the writing on the wall all along?
I don't think that Helinski was never in the picture, but I just think we'd all be, I'm almost like I told somebody else this. I'm kicking myself now because we should have seen it coming, I guess you could say, right? But I really just genuinely think what happened is Mike Bobo got the OC job. He sat down. I mean, he obviously watched film on South Carolina from last year, what he had. And you remember when he took the job, he was very critical of Helinski and his mechanics and everything, which, I mean, I appreciated. It was a breath of fresh air, him just being honest. I mean, we haven't had that in a while. But, yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, dude, he watched the film on Helinski. He saw what he had, and he probably thought to himself, you know what? I've got a guy that knows my system, knows my scheme, and I think he can give this guy a run for his money. Now, again, was the writing on the wall in the sense Helinski was never competing for the job? No, but I think he 110% brought Colin Hill here because he felt like he could compete for and potentially win the job. Yeah. So I think that was in the back of his mind the whole time. I mean, you got to think of it too, man. I mean, Colin Hill's his dude. He's not gonna bring his former player, his one of his players and put them in a position where they're gonna sit on the bench. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna look out for his guy. And I mean, I think that's kind of what happened. So.
Well, time will tell. Not a whole bunch of film out there that I could find on him, but it looks like he's made a few plays when he's been healthy. So
yeah, he can. Yeah, man, absolutely. Appreciate you calling in. Yeah, I was going to say the biggest thing with Colin Hill, man, he's got to stay healthy and he's got to play well. And those two things are not certainties. We all know that. Those two things are not certainties at all. So can he stay healthy and can he play well enough to fend off Ryan Helinski from the job? So that'll be the thing. But, yeah, I mean, I certainly – listen, I don't think it was ever a thing where as soon as he got hired, Colin Hill or Ryan Helinski had no chance to win the job. But, yeah, I think it was a thing where he saw Ryan Helinski's game. He watched him on film and said, you know what? My guy knows the system, knows the scheme, and looking at the two dudes on film, I think that Colin Hill can give him a run for his money. I think he can certainly compete and possibly take his job. And sure enough, he did. So is what it is. Hunter Brown joining late, but how do you feel about Joyner being listed as a starter, hoping he does more than just catch screens? I mean, you'd like to think if he's going to play the wide receiver position, he's one of the starters. He's going to be able to run some routes. So J.C. Horn, obviously just a little bit ago, had some high praise for Dak Joyner, saying he reminded him of Deebo Samuel. So maybe we'll get that production, man. Who knows? Anthony Dillard, it's tough having so many questions on offense and not having a tune-up game. I agree. I wish South Carolina was playing Coastal or ECU to start the year. Lamar Bradley, Jabari must have had a hell of a camp because I thought Pickens was the next man up. I think Pickens still is. Again, going back to it, I think it's a thing where Muschamp's kind of awarding seniority, but they're all going to play. I mean, they're going to factor in. Zach Pickens is going to be a huge factor this year on that defensive line. So, well, I'm hearing now from people. Wow. Well, Jalen Brooks' waiver has officially been denied. They're appealing the decision. Wow. Jay Urich has a chronic shoulder injury. He'll have surgery tomorrow and take a medical and move on. He wants to be a graduate assistant coach helping Connor Shaw with the life skills program. So there you go. And everybody asking about Jay Urich, where he is on the depth chart. Jeez. Yep. Jalen Brooks waiver has been denied. They are going to, how do you deny a kid a waiver in a year that doesn't count for eligibility? That's just nuts. It's just absolutely nuts, to be honest. So I'm going to be making a lot of graphics when we get done with this. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I feel for the kid, honestly. I feel for the kid. It's a tough look. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. You guys get in your questions. Again, I'm putting these graphics together here. On that graphics. Yeah, I mean we're just terrible with the NCAA. Yeah, so he'll be eligible next year. But we're just terrible with the NCAA. We're awful. I mean, I don't know how else you can put it. We're awful with the NCAA, man. There's just no other way to put it. We get shafted constantly by those guys. Let's see. WB Prothman, was Urick going to play any with the quarterback room looking crowd? No, I don't. I mean, Urick wouldn't have seen the video, and I think it's one of those things that Jay Urick understands where his future is. He's going to make a major impact beyond the field in life. You know what I mean? Like so I'm not I'm not too worried about it as far as he's concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to have a major impact in life. So I mean, I totally understand it. But I mean, obviously it sucks he got injured. I mean, it's not the way you want it to end, but man, he'll have such a big impact in life. Like I said, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Sorry guys, I'm just putting this graphic together. Boom. Nick Davis, here's a hard hitter. When can I expect a TSUS koozie? I'll get that in the works immediately, my guy. We will get that in the works immediately. Come on. There we go. USC insider Cade Mays can play at Tennessee. Like really, yeah. I mean, we just we're just terrible with the NCAA, man. There's just no other way to put it. We get no favors from the NCAA. I mean, oh God. Alex Huntley sprained ankle will be out this week. Oh God. Sorry, guys. Just love it. Love the injuries. Love the injuries. Yeah. You had about 5 minutes, guys. If you want to call in, comments, questions, whatever. I'm just sorry. I'm just on my phone looking at the daggone Muschamp presser. I thought about moving this, but I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do 12 to 1 every single day because I can't watch the presser live anyway, so who gives a damn? Yeah. I mean, you just hate to see any injuries, man. It's like, it's unfortunate. Let's see. Clay Sprouse. We are seeing the injury bug hit the NFL big time. I wouldn't be surprised to see it trickle down to college and high school with the lack of prep. I would say this, though. College has had a lot of prep, man. I mean, think of how many practices they've had. They've had more practices, I think, this year than ever. So, I mean, injuries are going to happen in football. It's inevitable. But I don't know if Will Muschamp is cursed or what the deal is, but it is crazy. It is wild. To see how it hits his teams. I mean, really. So, Like I said, you guys go ahead and ask away as far as the questions are concerned. I'm just looking at stuff on Twitter right now. Lamar Bradley waiting to see the run defense. Yeah, I mean, we should be good. You know, the run defense should be good. I mean, there's really no excuse, you know. So I know they haven't been in the past. We were not good run game last year, but the run defense should be good. We'll see if it actually happens, but let's see. WB Prothan, in previous years, I heard you guys saying that injuries are a result of the strength coaches. Is there any weight to this? See, I've never really said that. I mean, here's the thing. There has to be something to it. You can't just say, oh my God, it's bad luck. I mean, how can you say that? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be something to it, but am I willing to completely pin it on the strength coach? You know, it's tough to do that. It's just tough to do that. Let's see. Was Alex Huntley supposed to be starting? No. I mean, it just sucks he's injured, though. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying he was going to play a lot, but it's just annoying. I hate hearing the injuries, man. And you know what's going to happen. We're going to get to the call-in show Thursday night. There's going to be some injury we didn't know about. We're going to get to Saturday. There's going to be some guy out we didn't know. It's just like, God, can we just get a break? Like, can we go through a week clean? Like, jeez, it kills me. Just kills me. All right, guys, taking a couple more questions. We got a little bit of time here left, like 2 minutes. So if you have any other questions, comments, whatever, if you haven't done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. Alex McGrath joining me each and every single Tuesday once again this season. I'm very excited. Alex is a great friend of mine. I appreciate him being gracious with his time and kind of just giving his perspective, his insight on Gamecock football. So we're going to have that. Tomorrow's show will be Best Bet. SEC gambling picks, and also I'll talk about the depth chart. I'll talk about the comments from Will Muschamp's presser, other news and notes as well. Thursday, we'll have the official Tennessee preview show, previewing the game, keys to the game, stuff like that, breaking down the Vols. Then Friday, I will give my official prediction, my official score prediction for the game. So a packed week, obviously, but if you have not checked out the show that dropped today, check that one out. Again, TSUS episode 280 with Alex McGrath. Really, really good stuff. So be sure to check that out. But going to wrap it up here. We got about 35 seconds. Again, you're going to see the graphic later. Watch party at Overtime Bar and Grill Saturday. Kickoff at 7:30. I'm probably going to get there, we'll say 5 o'clock or 5:30. I'll determine the official time here in a little bit. But around that time, obviously, show up. Kickoff. It's going to be a blast. Last question, Donnie Walkoff. I keep hearing Kevin Harris the most consistent, so he's not starter because he's a little fat or what? No, he's going to be a guy. He's going to be a guy for us. He's going to get a lot of carries. Him, Fenwick, whatever. Going to get a lot of carries. That's all for me, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow, 12 to 1. Appreciate it.